I wanted to do a quick review on my experiences with Dell customer service regarding the purchase of an XPS 8950 I ordered online. Uh, it started with my particular address, which is commonly expressed by the unit number and then the street number in that order. Example 9-400 80 Street. All my bills find me at that address, as had one previous order from Dell themselves. In the past, I've run across certain websites that do not accept this format, and normally they notify me at the time that it won't accept it. Dell's website autofills, or rather auto-rejected my address format. I didn't realize it at the moment. The unit number was dropped or missing from the order. It wasn't flagged on the form. Is the error mine? Yeah, absolutely, there's no question. Had I reviewed it prior to hitting the enter button, we would be having this conversation. When I printed the order, I realized that the unit number was missing. It being after 10 p.m., I figured I would call them in the morning and correct the situation. I was wrong. Customer service, who was courteous, patient, and professional, to be fair, explained that there was nothing they could do about the error until the order reached the shipping stage. A level of restricted access and security is expected on high-value products such as theirs. I made the assumption that they would attach a note to the order somehow on their end and that it would be looked after. I found it hard to believe that there was not a simpler and faster way to resolve the error. And the more I thought about it, well, I decided to call them about it again. Again, the person I spoke to was polite, courteous, and professional, and gave me the same story, waited until shipping gets it. I pressed them, thinking if I pushed hard enough that I would find a way to get it looked after. The rep was sympathetic. It was actually frustrated that they couldn't satisfy my request, so I asked to speak to a supervisor. I was told the supervisor would call me when they were free, which they did. Now, this is a company that makes its bread and butter on information technology, and one which I've used many times in the past with great result. It beggars belief that they could not simply add a unit number. I was polite, as were they, but the attitude I perceived was, oh well, it's too bad. That's just the way it is. Service well below the standard expected based on the previous calls and reps. So when we ended the conversation, I figured I would call a fourth time when I saw the update that the unit had gone to shipping, except that they were not updating their website in a timely manner, so the unit had actually left Dell by the time I was notified. I called again and was told plainly there was nothing they could do about it, to call the carrier and update them on the address. I called Pure later. As a stipulation of their contract with Dell, they can't alter an address unless instructed to by Dell. Makes sense, it's an expensive item. But Dell won't update it. I called customer service again. They told me, with indifference, that they would enter a ticket sometime in the next 48 hours it would be dealt with. Then I get a notice from Pure later that the unit number is missing, and to please advise them. They were 100 feet from my door. So I called Pure later once again. This time, I got a wonderful person on the phone who had a contact with Dell, and with the ticket number that Dell had provided me, she was able to solve my issue with a phone call. That's not her job. It was delivered 2 days later than it should have been. Better late than never, Dell. You didn't take an extra 2 days to cash the check. Pure Later's the hero in this story, not Dell. Pure Later went above and beyond to satisfy Dell's customer. I'm very happy with the product from Dell, as I have always been with purchases there. But customer service there has it's kind of jumped the shark. Again, the initial error was mine. Now, I spent most of my entire career in customer service, and in my experience, 25% of my job was correcting or adjusting orders in a production environment. The last thing I would ever do is flat out tell a customer of mine, that I could not help them, especially with such a simple change. It would cost me a phone call, as this did for my little rock star over at Purelator. How they could put their frontline folks facing customers with no ability to serve them, it's hard to believe. Not a situation I would like to work in, nor likely would I. I still wholeheartedly endorse the Dell product, but the system supporting that product has become questionable at best. And the experience with this recent purchase should and will weigh heavily in any decision to make any further purchases from Dell. They're not the only game in town. Dell then sent me a customer service survey inviting me to review my experience, which I did politely, and we'll put on the screen. And I got a message back from them that they could not post my review because it didn't meet their website guidelines. This means you folks, potential Dell customers, won't ever get to see any negative reviews, at least not on their website. Problem? What problem? All our reviews are positive. You need to do better, Dell. Fix the issue. Don't be such cowards afraid of a little constructive criticism. This video will hopefully reach many more folk than a slightly less than glowing review on your website. You had the opportunity to avoid a review like this, and you didn't take it. Do better, Dell. Your customers and frontline employees deserve better. Thanks for your time.